At this time, the chair will recognize Minority Leader Durkin. Mr. Durkin, would you like to address the body here today?
I would, Mr. Speaker, and you look quite comfortable and good up there.
Thank you, sir.
You're welcome.
You may proceed, Leader Durkin.
Thank you so much, and I want to thank Representative Ellick and Kiker, my two colleagues, for their wonderful nomination speeches, and thank you for those kind words. And congratulations, Speaker Welch. When you stated that you will work with me, I take you at your word, and I will work with you. This is an interesting time because as the minority leader from Cook County, lives less than 5 miles, as a matter of fact, 4.5 miles away from the Speaker. And if you're driving the limit, as long as the Secretary of State is here, I am driving the limit. It's only 10 minutes. So I got a feeling that we may see each other more often than we think or like, but the fact is, I've known you for years. We both are very passionate about our positions, and that will continue. But I am extending the olive branch of cooperation starting today. I love my state, and we talked about that earlier. You know, that's why we're here. I have benefited from this state. I've got a great family that's benefited. My wife Celeste is watching. I'm now a grandfather 3 times. My daughters are gainfully employed. They're living the American dream. So I'm a very fortunate man. I say this all the time, but I just want to remember before I forget this. You know, I come from a large Irish family, and, you know, we have a lot of times we're told about, you know, the old days and that. But my father always told myself and my 7 brothers, even in the worst of times, he would often tell us very directly, leave a place better than you found it. Keep that in mind. Well, ladies and gentlemen, it's been quite a week, quite a month, and quite a year. And there's been a lot of build-up to today's swearing in of members to this 102nd, which will be an historic General Assembly. And congratulations to all of you, particularly the new members. I know that you've worked hard to get here, and I know that your families should be, and I'm sure they are, very proud of you. I wish they could be here personally, but I understand the situation that we exist in. But the times that we live in are unique, to say the least, and challenging. You took the oath. You can't turn back now. We're here. Each and every one of us is now tasked with representing each and every one of your citizens on every imaginable issue. The budget, our state employees, our employers, healthcare workers, law enforcement, public safety, agriculture, education, students. The list goes on, but I'll stop there. You're in for a real treat. You're going to have to shift gears in a second's notice on every issue. But you know what? That's how you build up. That's how you help yourself. That makes you a better person, a more educated person, a more grounded person to address the issues. As we said earlier, it's about your district. Never forget your district. Your district comes first. That is our solemn obligation, are the men and women who expect much from us. Now, as we reflect upon our responsibilities today, you will be well served to reflect on the past, learn from the present, and consider the future. It's often been said that those who forget the past are doomed to repeat it. Remember that. Now, for the first time in many decades, 50 years since he was first elected, the name of Michael J. Madigan has not been offered as Speaker of the House. Mr. Madigan's record will long be reviewed and analyzed. His legacy leaves broken promises to Illinois taxpayers. Listen, a legacy driven by absolute power and control, so much that his business model forced the largest public utility in the state to enter into a deferred prosecution agreement with the U.S. Attorney's Office in Chicago. That's an admission of fact. A 9-year scheme to bribe. This is my time to talk. What's it about? No-show jobs, board appointments, contracts run through a third party to benefit his allies, all to influence and reward his effort to assist ComEd with legislation. The legacy is also one which failed its citizens with unbalanced budgets, broken pension systems, tax increase after tax increase, with nothing to show for it. The saying goes that power corrupts, and absolute power corrupts absolutely. As I said, reflect on the past. While his reign as Speaker is all but over, his decades in power will never be erased. What we have here, through this unique and rare opportunity, is the ability to break from the past, to break that business model and fix the problems because they are as apparent as the mask on our face. Consider the future. If you wish to move from the past, you will have a partner in Jim Durkin and the House Republicans. I'm going to talk about that for a few moments. Our priorities are strong. They're deeply rooted, and they're not that much different from yours. I just want to remind you in all of Illinois about what we stand for, and I offer the following. And I want to thank Representative Murphy for working on that with a select group of our members, just to reaffirm our priorities. We must work towards ending the culture of corruption that has allowed our state to be run into the ground for the benefit of a politically connected few. We must enact responsible fiscal leadership. The days of overspending, overpromising, and underdelivering have to be left behind. Last November, Illinois voters sent a very loud message, one that is very clear. No more taxes, no more fake budgets, live within your means, solve your problems, solve those self-inflicted problems. We must do better. We must grow jobs and opportunities for our families all across Illinois. We cannot keep forcing property tax hikes and regulations on job creators, and we need to work to keep our students working in Illinois. It's a novel concept. I don't want my kids to leave Illinois. I don't want your kids to leave Illinois to find a good, meaningful job. It's happening. We've got to stop that horrible trend. We must ensure the safety of our public. This past year has taught us the importance of being a nation of laws and that we are tasked with ensuring the safety of all citizens. That means making sure that we have the best law enforcement officers in the country, like the men and women who are here today, who have been here every week guarding us, who take those jobs seriously because they have a mission to serve and protect. And each one of them would spare their lives for us. That's why they're here. And we cannot demean them. We can work towards a better Illinois, one that is fair, one that hopefully reaches that goal, that pillar of fairness and equity. We're going to disagree on how we get there, and that's our right as legislators, because words do mean something. We may disagree, you may not like our votes, but I hope you know we have an obligation to make sure that we put a product together that moves out of this chamber that is one that is thoughtful, one that is operable. And sometimes we just can't get there, and we ask those questions, we'll disagree, but that is what this great experience is about. I mentioned those priorities. You've heard them before, but as I said earlier, they're deeply rooted within our caucus, and if you think about it, I would imagine they're yours as well. But I believe that we have to work quickly. We must work quickly. We have to work together, because these problems, which are identifiable, could become unfixable. Now, there will be suggestions that our speaker is, and it has been suggested, some people will say that nothing's going to change. I'm hopeful that it won't, that it will change, that we will see a new image and a new future for the General Assembly. So, Speaker Welch, I would avoid taking hand signals and homing pigeons from the 13th Ward. My final thoughts come from me as an elected official, a husband, a father, a grandfather, and a taxpayer. And I will be frank, this house is broken, it's divided, but our state, even worse, that our state is broken. We are not solving problems, we are adding to them. Illinois doesn't feel strong anymore because our people don't feel strong. And as always, it's the little guy in Illinois who loses. That little guy works hard. He pays a lot. He tries to do right by his family, but he's going nowhere fast. He never gets a break. He works harder than ever before to get ahead, but continues to fall behind. He feels robbed. He only wants a fair chance, and he's not asking for favors. So, my message to you, that we must take that unyielding weight of government off his shoulders by getting our act together and not taxing him to death to solve our self-inflicted problems. We can also let our businesses thrive, let them move forward, put people to work without us constantly micromanaging their operation and their mission. We also got to grow our economy, put people back to work, and yes, we have to pay down our debt and not make up any excuses. We're going to do that by taking on the tough issues. Thank you, Speaker Welch. You said that we're going to take on the tough issues. You have a partner with me. We're going to take on those issues head on, but not by turning our backs to those issues and running away as fast as we can, which has happened over the decades. We must do everything in this great, untapped power of the men and women in this House to give working people, our job creators, strength again. And for the people not working, the ability to get their lives back. I will repeat, we must stop creating problems. We must solve our problems. I'm honored to serve in this position. As I said earlier, I love the institution. I love the state of Illinois. It's done a lot for me. But you know what? If you notice up here, I'm getting a little old and getting very gray. I'm glad I still have it. But there is going to be generations after us who will be dealing with issues which could be much worse. So this is a time in history, a time where we have a fresh start to hit the reset button in state government and think about what our mission is. What is our mission to the men and women who work hard and the children every day in our districts? Think about that. I think it's all the same for us. As I said earlier, they want a fair shake. They want to make sure when they make that investment every April to the Department of Revenue that they will get a return on that investment. That should be our goal. With that, I want to thank my colleagues from the Republican Party for instilling with me their confidence. And for my Democrat friends, it's a new day. It is a new day, and let's prove it together, because the state and everyone who believes in state government, they are watching us. And I know we can get there. God bless Illinois. God bless the United States of America.
Thank you, Leader Durkin. As a gentleman from Proviso Township, what you will receive from me is a note that says, people may doubt what you say, but they believe what you do. And that note will say, I also look forward to returning civility and compassion to our politics.
Thanks for watching, and if you haven't already, please consider subscribing to our channel. And while you're at it, please leave us a comment. Thank you for watching.